Today you're going to be taking a look at the Lippert Components Quickie 25 series of triple electric steps. Having electric steps in your RV is a really nice thing. Whenever we need to get in, we can open the door and our steps should come out, but then at the same time whenever we close the door, they should retract. As you can see, ours are having a little bit of an issue. They keep binding up on us and it's a really intermittent operation. Our new Quickie 25 series steps are going to make it a lot easier for us to get in and out of our motorhome because they're going to operate whenever we open the door, our steps will extend down, and then whenever we close the door, they'll retract back in. And you see they're going to have that nice smooth operation. And the way they're going to work is they're going to have a two-part switch. One is going to be on the outside of the door right here, which is going to have a magnet that'll signal the inside switch. And the inside switch is going to be mounted onto the inside of the door jamb, and it'll find that signal and let the steps know whether to retract or extend out. Now our steps are also going to have a manual switch so we can turn the steps off if we'd like to keep them out all the time, so we don't have to worry about them going back in when we close the door. Now our motorhome already had a switch built in, so we didn't wire it up, but if we turn the switch off, it'll cut the power off to our steps, and then when we close the door, the steps will stay extended out. Our steps are going to have a lot of built-in safety features, so in case we forget to turn that switch back on, and when we close the door to drive away in our motorhome, the steps are going to automatically retract as soon as we put the key into the on position. Now also, as another added safety feature, our steps are going to extend the first time that we open the door after the key is in the on position. That way we don't have to worry about falling out of the door. And sometimes whenever we're parked close to a curb and we go to open our door, our steps may come in contact with that curb. Luckily though, there's going to be a control unit on the motor which is going to prevent any kind of overheating and too much amperes draw, and it'll actually cut power, so once there's enough pressure on the steps, it's going to stop extending them or retracting them. But keep in mind, if you do open the door and you're really close to the steps, hitting your leg is not going to be enough pressure, so you still want to be mindful whenever they're retracting or extending. Our steps are even going to have a built-in light. It's going to be an amber light underneath, so even in those low light situations, it is going to illuminate that first step so we can have confidence whether we're entering or exiting our motorhome. Our steps themselves are going to have this textured material, so we're going to have lots of traction, make sure we're not going to slip even when the steps are wet. On top of that, they're going to have this reflective coating on each step. So again, in low light situations or anything like that, it's going to be very visible so we know exactly where we're stepping. Now our steps are going to be made out of steel and they'll have a black powder coat finish on them, so they are going to resist rust and corrosion, and they're going to hold up to all the elements, including all the road debris that's going to be coming up from underneath. Now the steps themselves are going to be 24 inches wide by 11 inches deep, so we'll have plenty of room to make sure we have a secure footing. In between each step is going to be a 7-inch drop or rise. That way it's going to be a natural step whenever we're getting in. Now as far as the mounting dimensions, our step height is going to be 19.5 inches, and that's going to be from the very top of our mounting bracket to the very bottom of our lowest step. Now our mounting bracket dimensions, meaning whenever the steps are fully collapsed and what needs to fit into the hole here, is going to be 25.5 inches wide, all the way from one side to the other, and it's going to be 9 5/8 inches tall, and it's going to be 11 3/8 inches deep. So keep those measurements in mind whenever you're looking for steps to fit the height as well as the width and depth to fit your RV. Our steps are going to have a 300-pound weight capacity, so we know they're going to be really strong and durable. Our Quickie 25 series steps are going to come in a few different configurations. They're all going to give you that 3-step platform and have the same dimensions, but they're going to have some that are going to be only the step itself with no motor, no switches, or no control unit, but also full complete assemblies. So whatever you need, we have something that's going to work with your RV. Now installing our steps is going to be a pretty straightforward process. We're going to have pre-drilled holes all along the bottom that we can use to match up to the frame on our RV. Just keep in mind that the hardware is not included and you will need to pick up some bolts to get everything bolted in. And the solid steel drive rods on our motor are going to make sure that it's going to be extra strong and durable and last for many years to come. And as far as the wiring goes, we're going to have a simple 4-pole connector here. It's going to plug directly into our motorhome. Now if you're replacing them, you might already have this style connector on there, but if not, our kit is going to come with the other end, so we can just use a few butt connectors and wire it in place. Then we'll just have a simple ground wire that we'll have to connect and wire up our door switch. That'll finish up your look at the Lippert Components Quickie 25 Series Triple Electric Steps.